Get there eventually.
Something.
Okay. Well, it looks like something's happening.
Ah.
Test, test. Yay! Alright. Let me know if you can't get the audio or something similar. Man. When last we left our heroes. I am broadcasting on YouTube right now.
YouTube, okay.
Switch. I said YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
what's even going on?
Yeah, I don't know why I said YouTube, actually.
Okay, now I can see it.
Like, everybody on Twitch is like, why did he say he's broadcasting on YouTube? Okay. So, I've hit something, nothing is happening.
Uh-oh.
So, yes. Give me a moment. I'm going to start closing everything down that isn't Disco Elysium. Ah, we're loading. That's good.
Oh.
I hit the load button quite a while ago.
Yes.
Okay, so we are down to just the 2 programs running. So hopefully, hopefully it'll actually be working. I don't know. We'll see. Equip a flashlight in low light areas.
Yes. It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. Makes it a lot easier to see what's happening. So, strain become a lot more intense.
Yes?
It becomes more like Half-Life.
Really?
At a certain point in. You're being attacked
Sounds weird.
by unidentified monsters.
Huh. Well, maybe I'll have to watch it at some point.
Yeah, yeah. It's good stuff. I've got the PS5 version that I've streamed. I'll finish streaming probably tomorrow. It's a short game.
Okay.
And yeah, it's good stuff. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I've got so many options.
Oh. Okay.
So, we've been loading for a while.
I've been loading for a while.
That concerns me.
Yes.
I think I'm going to give it one more minute.
Right.
Because we've been streaming for a minute. Or for 4 minutes, actually. And pretty much nothing has happened. So, oh, I hear something.
Oh.
All right, here we are. So it is 1:30 in the afternoon. Pretty much in real life too, close to it where I'm at. And then we've got $18. We got to get to 20.
I think we already paid.
Oh, we did? Oh, cool.
We.
So now the question is, now what?
The
problem is I've totally forgotten where we are.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing now?
Right.
So let's see here.
I got the hobo hat and the wife beater on. Let's see. What
Yes,
do
the
we
hobo
want
hat.
to do? Yes. Get the boots off the victim's feet somehow. We're gonna have to refrigerate him. That's really what we need to do. Find a
Oh.
refrigerator for him. Find all the
Yeah.
armor pieces.
Yep.
Sing karaoke. Explore the whirling secret passages. Figure out who made the call, which we're not gonna know for a long time. The victim's tattoos. Ask around about the tattoo's meaning. Joyce's info on the looting. So we basically have to do a favor for her or get our badge, and she'll help us with that information. Who put the clothes in the trash? Track down her badge. Replace the lost bull. So at some point we got to find a ball.
All right. Yep.
Investigate the domed commercial area. So we need to the doomed commercial area. So we have to go into the basement of that.
Oh yes.
Find armored gloves. Close the water lock on Wednesday. It's not Wednesday yet. Call her back in a day about the owner, so we'll get both of those done tomorrow. Open the apartment door for Everart. Oh, let him know we've unlocked the door. So we need to tell Everart that we've unlocked the door at some point.
Okay. Yeah, we do need to do that.
Send the victim's body to processing. Once we're done with it, send the corpse to processing. Refrigerate the victim's body. We need to get that done ASAP.
Yes.
It's been just sitting there for an hour. Prove your authority to Titus Hardy. So somehow establish our authority for the Hardy boys.
All right.
And find a way inside the large apartment building to the north. All right. So, man, what would you like to do? There's a lot that can be done at this point.
I know the fridge is important, but
Right.
we already asked in 2 places, as I recall.
Right. We've asked 2 places, and both places were like, why would we have a fridge? And why would we let you put a body in it if we did?
Right, because we store food in here.
Right. This is for food, not for people. I mean, we can talk to Joyce if you want.
I don't have the badge.
Right.
We are right here. We can talk to her, I guess. See if there's any
Esprit de
any
corps.
lines that have opened up.
Yeah, esprit de corps. So apparently there's an esprit de corps thing we can do with her that's opened up. But that's about it.
Okay.
Probably something about the way
You're
the world
back.
works.
Good. What can I help you with?
So we can tell her she's
We need to
on
be
a
legendary.
boat. What can you tell me about the strike? I've got more questions about reality. All 3 of those could lead to possible good results. Depending.
Okay, you're on the boat.
Let's just say results. Let's not necessarily say good results. All 3 could be
Why,
results.
yes, I am.
You're on a boat. Yes, I am, she says. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Or, does she have a name? Or, do you have a license for this boat? Or, I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
2.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
All right.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name. Or, okay, but what kind of boat is it? Or, how do you like it?
1.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat, makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
So how about Sleek Fish? Or how about X something? Or how about Dolores?
A 3.
Why Dolores?
I don't know, feels pretty. It just feels like a name for some reason.
Two.
2.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it? Or how do you like it? Or we can continue pressing the boat really needs a name. If you want.
Oh. Do 2.
Okay, what kind of boat is
It's a
it?
pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
Okay, and how do you like it? Or do we want to see if we can name the boat?
Try 1 again.
Okay. How
Something
about
different?
Cordelechi 19?
Tesla said the
Why?
boat makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about Sleek Fish? Or how about X something?
All right, 1.
What?
Because it's sleek and fish-like.
I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you.
Well, we can keep pressing the matter, or we can just give up.
Try 1 more time.
Okay. How about Cordelechi 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about X something?
The X something. The X what?
The Executor, or the ex-wife, or just the X something.
Yeah, Executor, why not?
Oh, I do like the sound of that.
Smirk past their
It
face.
sounds so decisive, so powerful.
All right. So, how do you like it? We've agreed we like Executor.
All right. 3 then.
My
Yep.
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Her lips curl into a wry smile.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Or, do you have a license for this boat? Or, I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Do 1.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on
What's
an
around?
archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago? What do you mean archipelago?
1.
Yes, we are. We are
She's a
on
rabble.
Le Caillou.
Caillou? I thought we were in Revenshaw. Or, still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. Or understood about this boat of yours.
2.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
The lieutenant becomes defensive.
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Woman pets the cabin hardtop.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
Do you have a license for this boat? Or, I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
We can ask about the license.
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
So they have a handle on the boat thing?
Right?
Good.
She takes a sip from her thermal cup. What can you tell me about the strike? Or, I've got more questions about reality. I think she's not going to say anything about the strike till we get our license.
Right.
Or whatever it is. Badge.
Yeah.
Our badge.
I mean, let's try 6.
More lessons
We
in
kind of
basic
pursued that
reality.
already. We
My
maybe
favorite
not
part of the day.
everything.
Go ahead. Ask me anything.
Okay, so we have a high chance on esprit de corps. And none on conceptualization. So we'll try this one again?
Okay, sure.
6 kilometers
Green.
southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass.
Okay, but what does that have to do with...
To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
She says energetically. The Revachol Citizens Militia?
Preciso mundo.
Good. And what is the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Lieutenant steps in to make a gesture encompassing you both. Are we? Or did you say de facto?
Two.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
What do you mean? Or that's it for the who I am part then.
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
The lieutenant looks up from his notes. So I'm basically a lackey of capital? Or so I'm basically a thrall to foreign interests? Or so I'm basically one of the good guys? Or so I'm basically going to avoid this subject and ask the next question at this time?
Oh, 1.
I'm basically a lackey of capital.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it.
She leans in.
Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Oh? Why?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
She smiles.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement.
The lieutenant interjects.
Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
Thank you, ma'am. Or say nothing. Or back to these basic terms of reality.
1.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
She bows and smiles. All right, well, we don't have the conceptualization skills to ask number 8, so you want to say that's it for now? All right.
Glad to have been of
Yeah,
assistance.
that's it. All we can
Little
do.
that I know. Anything else?
Thanks, that's all for me. Unless there's something else you want to ask about.
I think we're good.
All right. Okay, well, now what?
There's the basement, but I don't think we'll find a fridge down there.
Right. I think we've already been down this way. We decided not to go into the apartment downstairs.
I mean, we could talk to Everett. Is that who it was?
Everett, yes.
He has a fridge.
Yes, let me know we've got the other thing done, so.
Yep.
Can I run? Oh, I already am running. I'm just slow. Got it.
Oh, this is running.
Right. Didn't you know? Do I have to jump? Is that the only way down? There we go. I was like, why won't it let me in? I just had the cursor stuck on Kim.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. I just did. Okay, and we go talk to Everett.
Sure.
Want to try to convince the door to open with our startling rhetoric? Alright, let's try.
You're back before the cargo container.
Oh, it's
Its
locked.
drawer has not lessened since you were last here.
That can be something we can try to white check at some point.
Okay.
Although I don't know how that would work exactly.
Right.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
I opened the door, you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now? Or let's talk about my lost gun. Actually, I think all these other we've done.
Yeah.
So number one?
Do one.
Alright.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question.
Smile.
You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
The deal wasn't for me to go inside, so I didn't.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door.
He gives you a clever
which
look.
you did. So we're all good here. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
I heard there's a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on, you have a village elephant? Or go on, or I think I've heard enough.
I won.
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, and so is the village. But the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Go on, or I think I've heard enough.
I won. Yep.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
He laughs. Wait, they move your container? Or go on.
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
He says, ignoring the lieutenant.
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Wait, the whole neighborhood is in this now? Or who exactly did the pushing?
One.
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Okay, who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you guys.
Not just the lieutenant.
Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him.
He chuckles.
I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in.
He chuckles.
Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
I want to hear again how the strike and lynching are connected. Or, how do you know the mercenaries... Oh, we already heard that. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? Or, you mentioned the lawyer girl. Or, tell me about Thomas Hardy's crew. Or, good talk. Let's conclude for now.
Alright. Okay, let's see here. 4.
Tell me more about Thomas Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
That's him allowing the police to ask his men questions.
How do we know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? Or, you mentioned a lawyer girl. Or Everett. I met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
3.
Mentioned a lawyer girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one.
He
I
grins
paid for that
broadly.
law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? Or Everett. I met these Hardys. Ask them to cooperate. Or, good talk, let's go. 2. How do you know they were hired by the
How
shipping
do I
company?
know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do.
He slams his fist on the table.
Last winter, some poor
desk.
workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
The man slams his fist on the desk again. The name of the company is Crenell this time. It might have been Sediment before. Or another question.
Fun.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Everett, I met the Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate? Or good talk, let's conclude.
We could try 5.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
He hands out a banknote. Wait, why are you giving it to me? Or take it? Or I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys.
1.
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it.
Take it, or I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys.
Yes, 2.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there.
He pockets
But
the
I'm
bill.
willing to share information. Was there anything else?
I think that's it. Good talk, let's conclude for now.
Yeah.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you.
Oh?
Yet.
Yet?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
He says,
I
slowly
want
shaking his head.
to,
Oh.
but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
But I'm not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Revachol. Well, you're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. Or, what's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. Or, this is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm not left or right. I do what my heart tells me to do.
Huh. It's 4.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper,
Pulls out
and
an
then
envelope.
mail it to my
Okay.
accountant in La Delta.
Kim, what do you think of this? Or, what are the signatures for? Or, fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask him. Or, no, I'm not going to do this.
1.
Alright. Kim, what do you think of
It
this?
depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
He studies Everett.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
What are the signatures for? Or, fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask. Or, no, I'm not doing this.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
He grins broadly.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
So where is this place exactly? Or what will happen to the current occupants? Or fine, if I happen to be there, I'll ask. Or no, I'm not doing this.
3.
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
You're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez.
What'll happen to the current occupants? Or fine, or no.
4.
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Fine or no?
Fine.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here,
He hands you an open white envelope.
you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun.
Runs his fingers through
Back on
his
Wednesday.
hair. Alright, I'll be right back.
Alright.
Alright. Alright, ready to continue?
Let's go.
Alright.
See you soon, Debardeur.
I think we're done
Just
here.
kidding,
No.
but not too much.
The big man raises his hand in farewell. Okay. So we've picked up a skill point.
Cool.
We've also picked up this envelope. White envelope with a stamp attached to the upper right corner, handed you by Edward Clare. Inside are legal documents, the two names pinned to them. Isobel Sadie and Lillian Carter, both signatures are required. You can look at them if you want.
Right?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Alright, want to look at the zoning plan, or Kim, what do you think of this? Or try to find a loophole in the deal, or put the documents back in the envelope.
2.
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not the perfect solution, but
He shrugs. Lieutenant replies, flipping through the documents. Look at the zoning plan, or try to find a loophole, or put the documents away.
1.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say.
Okay, so try to find the loophole in the deal, or put it away.
We'll do 3. It's a white check.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Yes, let's see. 3 years plus. of work where you can't get to the road. Wait, what are the ramifications of this? Or look, Kim, people are going to have to move away. Can you do something about this? Or the noise will be tough on the villagers, but I guess that's just going to be the cost of progress.
Two.
I should have seen it.
Lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Kim, we should have waited till we were out of earshot of him to say that.
However, we need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
Put the documents back.
Yeah, I guess so.
So get 2 signatures for Everard is our next task.
Huh?
Okay, so there's several things here that we could get. We could bump up, or we could get another thought unlocked. Another persona.
Yes. Do we have any good ones?
So we have some kind of superstar. We have White Morning. We have the magnesium-based life form. We have derealization, and we have the 15th Endotribe. So this one is we think we're a star. This one is morning. We're basically deep in morning. This one is magnesium causes us to gain bonuses. Derealization. Basically, we think everything is fake. And then 15th Endotribe was a conspiracy theory. Or we can work on one of these other things. We are still trying to prove ourselves to that guy, so we could save the point and put it toward authority if we fail again.
And none of those thoughts are speaking to me right now.
Okay. So yeah, let's look at map. We need godly authority with Thomas Hardy, so we could add more authority and try again with him.
Good.
All right.
Probably helps that we spoke to Everett.
Yes, I imagine it would.
I leave.
Okay. How do I get out of here?
It's like quite the look going now with the wool hat and the...
Yes, with the hobo hat and the wife beater. Yes. and the trash bag. The wife beater with a horrific tie.
Yes. That's the best part.
I don't know, the trench coat over the top of the whole thing is pretty good too. With the 70s pants. It's quite the look.
Mm-hmm.
I think esoteric is the description.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and turn in the trash and see what kind of money we're looking at. Oh, we picked up some trash.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
40
and
cents.
the money appears
$2.
with a satisfying
Boy.
jingle. You're a richer man now.
All right. So we have what? Basement?
Yep.
I kind of feel like that's what we got left.
Okay.
Because I mean, we're looking for the fridge, but we have 0 leads.
Yeah, nothing. I don't have any idea where to look now.
All right. I mean, there's a person out here we can talk to if you want.
Sure. Do you have a fridge?
Right. You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. Is that a good one? Or, hello, or leave her be?
1.
Yes? Hello?
She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She looks up briefly.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Shouldn't a working class woman be working? Or, what are you doing? Or, have a good day.
2.
Looking for something to read.
She reverts her attention to the worn out paperback. Phenomenal, or good, good, or I'm a policeman.
2.
It is.
I'm a policeman, or leave.
Policeman.
I know you are.
Good then. Or do you need the help of a policeman, or leave?
At 1.
She reverts her attention to the soggy books in the bookstand. Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
She tries hard to focus on the bookstand.
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing. This citizen thinks she can do without your assistance. Don't buy it. They all need help.
Maybe your husband's missing, or watch your browse books. That's all. I'll let you read. So 1, 2, or 3.
At 1.
My
one.
husband? No, he's not.
Okay, so where could he be? Or, okay, thanks.
Two.
You're welcome.
She reverts her attention back to the bookstand. Maybe your children are missing. Maybe your cockatoo's missing. Watch your browse books, or that's all for the moment.
3.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing? Or, what do you mean I'm being a cockatoo?
2.
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Or, you're being sarcastic. Let's talk about something else.
1.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Maybe your children are missing. Or watch your browse books. Or that's all for the moment.
We'll ask about children.
No, absolutely not.
Her words come out quick as gunshots. Okay, where are they? Or, right, thanks.
Alright, 2.
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to books.
Watch your browse the books, or that's all for the moment.
Let's watch.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
So that's it.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Takes willpower to even read the author's name. Jan Kraus from Iguania. Find your heraldic bird. All right.
You see a you
Door
see
curtains
a
open.
dimly lit
A small, terrified O escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vague androgynous portrait of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. So, do we want to go to the basement?
Sure.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
So should we knock on the door, unlock the door with a key, or break down the door?
We'll knock first.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Unlock the door with a key, or break it down.
We can unlock it.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Kim, maybe you should go in first. Or open the door and enter. Kim?
Well, we'll do two.
All right.
I'm tempted to do one.
It is very tempting.
What is this place?
So it stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure, or it's the netherworld beyond the veil. Or this looks like a gym to me, or I think it may be Artenetep's boxing club for young athletes.
3.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages.
Draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot.
I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What's the reason no one's been here for ages? Or let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here.
1.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Sand is dripping from this punch bag. Hey, we picked up a ball.
Hey, cool.
The poster says Citius Fortius, and the rest is worn off. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. We can try to lift the dumbbell.
It's gonna fail.
I mean, alright, let's not then.
Yes?
Convinced Kim there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case. Yeah, we need Inland Empire to do that. Do we want to waste our point on Inland Empire?
Not right now.
So we found a boule.
Yes.
Alright, so we don't want to do that. We probably need to equip the flashlight.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
The hallway's blocked by old window panes and debris. Oh man, this place looks haunted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. Hey, money!
Nice.
Blue velvet. Soft to the touch. Moth-bitten. Where are the clothes it used to display?
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine. He sounds surprised and a little bit cautious.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind?
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers.
Ah, yes.
You think I should turn it on, or turn on the machine, or step away?
2.
Turn on the
The
machine.
machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside the compartment, press play, press print, or leave.
A 1.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Lieutenant notes, observing the machine. So should we press play, press print, or leave?
Okay.
So 2, 3, or 4?
Play. 2.
Nothing happens.
Okay. 2, 3, or 4?
3 then.
Nothing happens.
2 or 4?
You can press play again. Oh,
Nothing
why not?
happens.
Alright, well, I guess we're done here.
Okay.
So apparently, like, the hard drive is missing.
Yeah.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Just go down the list.
Sure.
These lithe,
Drawings.
pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin. This is important, or I don't actually care, and step back.
Examine.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
Welkin?
The Haldor,
Right.
the Tuareg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin. Green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Lieutenant cannot help but comment. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? But who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. Or, one of them is a Welkin supremacist. Or, well, this has been educational. Let's move on with the Welkins.
Oh.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Or, one of them's a Welkin supremacist. Or, well, this has been educational. Let's move on.
1.
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
One of them's a Welkin supremacist. Or, well, that's been educational.
We'll do 3.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at Welkin's facial hair. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on.
All right.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
So, inspect the photos, inspect the schedule, inspect the notes, or leave.
Photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule, inspect the notes, or leave.
Schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Keep reading what happened, or step back.
1.
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes or leave.
Oops.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
Is this Emma's atelier? Money!
Ooh.
A steel rotor blade bearing the Slipstream logo. Skis with Slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. We have gained an item. Production schedule, filament memory. Ah, we have a hard drive.
Ah.
So what would you like to do with the hard drive?
Put it in the machine.
Tiles on the cube are still
Insert the
small,
production schedule.
casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
So you said you wanted to do number 2?
S2.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Okay, so the play key's blinking. You want to press play again?
Ah. Yes, let's press
A
it.
bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule? Or why did you call me Fortress Accident? Or what are you, a machine or alive? Or that's all for now and press off.
3.
So 3? Alright. Machine or alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. Or, okay, but where are you? How'd you know where I am?
One. Yeah, 1.
Alright,
They are merely cautious.
says the old lady.
It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
Okay, but where are you? And how do you know where I
I
am?
work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely doing this job? Or let it go? Let it go.
Right. 1.
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident.
What's the production schedule? Or why'd you call me Fortress Accident? Or that's all?
2.
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Okay, do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
Here, flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
And what's that, this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
Static drowns her response. You're asked when the connection finally improves. So what's the production schedule? Or that's all for now?
1.
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
You mean the glowing thing I put inside? Or right. Thanks for the explanation.
A 1.
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
Yes, or I don't know, or I swear I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, 1.
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Could you give me a hint? Or is it my birthday? Or this is the police, please open the thing? Or I don't know the password.
Hint, huh? Yeah, 1.
No.
Okay. 2, 3, or 4.
You knew 2.
Still no.
So 3 or 4.
3.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
All right. I don't think we know the password.
No, we don't.
So number 4?
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Well, I guess that's all for now.
Indeed.
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old woman's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
So should we remove the production schedule or press print or just leave?
Let's press print.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Guess we can take it, carry it around with us.
The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Now we can leave. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back. I was trying to look at this over here. Scribbled across the notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
Oh.
It's over here.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks
that game
ghostly
is in the
and
bookstore.
strangely ancient.
I think so, yeah.
A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric.
What am I looking at, or leave?
Yeah, 1.
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies? For what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So we're dealing with something medical here. Or this must be an elaborate piece of art. Or, of course, narrows your eyes. It's the anatomy of the curse.
3.
Perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Wait, who is the Game Master? Or if it's a game, who's playing?
2.
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening ribosome. Why do you say
The
that?
schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else? Squift the lines.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exorcise the curse using technology. Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. Or this is just a failed business. The only question is, what were they making? Or, no time, let's move.
Three.
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do that? Or has anyone ever done that before? Or, and this was a role-playing game? Or, and what do you think happened to the company? Or, wow.
Four.
What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
How are they planning to do that? Or has anyone ever done this before? Or, and this was a role-playing game? Or, wow.
Oh.
Anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interinsulary game before. We just don't have the technology.
How are they planning to do that? Or, and this is a role-playing game? Or, wow. So, 1, 3, or 5?
1.
All right.
Through call-in stations. None of the
That's the
players have to
fireplace.
be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Okay, and this was a role-playing
3.
game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway.
Where's
Roleplay
the
people
chalkboard?
love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Wow. That it?
Yep.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
Lieutenant tilts his head, thinking. They were insane if they thought they could do this. Or this is just a play to cheat money out of their investors' pockets. Or the curse got them. I see no other explanation. Or the world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it.
And 4.
it's too late for that, I'm afraid.
The half-smile breaks out of his face. He says, looking around the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses
Okay,
the floor.
let's keep moving.
He concludes. Alright. Okay. I think now we can go downstairs.
Right.
Hey, it's a fridge.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. Or crack open the door. Or back off.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Crack open the door or back off.
2.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's just a fridge. Or look inside the refrigerator.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Kim, this fridge looks perfect for the corpse. We don't have to ask around anymore. Or take the note from the door, or examine one of the ice cream wrappers. Or, what is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Or close the door.
1.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is big enough. And cold enough too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your visual confirms. You could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this.
The body is heavier than we expected.
It fit more bodies in there.
Stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement. Then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
Really? You think this is good work? Or, I'm not sure I believe you.
1.
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room.
He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice bear cop.
I think this is a glorious achievement and people need to hear about it. Or, we did our best with the means at our disposal. Or, yeah, I'm not proud either, but we did find a fridge. Or, this isn't police work, Kim. It's art. We're artists. This is our vision.
Um, 3.
As impressive as the fridge is, this is a small victory, among numerous defeats. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection, under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay.
I don't see
We could
anything
take the
new.
note from the door. We could
Yes.
try this perception again. Take the note.
Take the note.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
We could examine one of the ice cream wrappers. We could ask what a bear-shaped fridge is doing in an abandoned cellar. We could actually try to search the body again. Or we could close the door.
6.
6? What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers and steadies it on the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from a hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Says the lieutenant.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Lieutenant points at the red, snaky cables running from the fridge.
The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Lucky us.
Alright, while we're moving the dead man's boots, Kim's going to yell at us.
Yes.
We could search the body thoroughly, we could examine the ice cream wrappers, or we could close the door.
5.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge, or the decomposing body in it.
What would you do for... Well, anyway. We could search the body, or we can close the door.
We'll try 3. I mean,
we could always put another point of perception and try again after.
yeah, okay.
Alright, let's go for it.
Your arms
We
reach out
succeeded.
and your eyes close,
Oh.
as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What's this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
So, you want to crawl up his nostrils, or put your fingers in his mouth, or squeeze his nose? All of these sound awesome. I mean, literally all three options are just, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, we'll start with one.
Crawl up his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Push your fingers up his nose or touch something else.
Okay, we'll push.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, Spider.
Well, we can put our fingers in his mouth, or we can squeeze his nose.
Right, 2.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it. This feels right. Or open your eyes and look. Or no, let's touch something else.
Oh my. 2.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
So we have a hole
Oh.
in his mouth into his skull, looks like.
Yes.
Abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Say abrasion color, or say F yeah, or touch it with your finger gently.
1.
Abrasion color.
Lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open in the copy paper. Touch it with your finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem? Feel around first, or push deeper.
2.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
Push
Your
deeper.
fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
So this apparently hit the brain.
The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity right between the hemispheres, or push deeper.
1.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper, until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Feels like a solid object right under the skull. Or inspect the skull first. Or fish it out. Or no, this is too much, and just abort.
1.
Can you get to it?
Searches his pockets for something. Inspect the skull first, fish it out, or no, this is too much.
2.
There's a tiny crack. A protrusion in the cranium. Right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it. From the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Lieutenant leans closer. So, do we want to fish it out, or do we want to give up? It is a red check, so if we fail, that's it.
And we're at 83, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, you want to go for it?
All right, we'll try it.
We failed.
Oh, no.
You push your hand further in. Whatever is in there keeps rolling between your fingers as you beckon it to come out.
Crap. Or a little help, Lieutenant, or I can't get it.
Two.
Out comes his small folding knife. The lieutenant moves its blade across the man's skull, searching for the exit wound.
There, not toward the protrusion.
Withdraw your hand 4 centimeters, please.
Pull your fingers back and nod.
With a crack, he punches the knife in the skull. Then, one more time, and one more, until the bone comes loose, like eggshell. Inside, you feel the jelly move from his poking.
The object's still under your finger.
Can you push it out?
A
Push.
small flower of metal blossoms from the man's head, followed by your finger.
A bullet. A non-calibre. Rifled. You may remove your hand from the victim's head now, officer. Well done.
Lieutenant picks it up between his fingers.
Here is your prize.
He drops the bullet into an evidence bag and puts it in your hand. On the other hand, the one not covered in blood and cerebral cortex.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds like heaven? Sounds about right, or say nothing, just nod.
Opinion, fatal injury.
You're right. Or agreed. Or wasn't that what we thought the last time?
Well, 3.
That was then. This time we have extensive tissue destruction away from the wound track. This time we have a bullet.
You're right. Or agreed.
Okay, 2.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion? Non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Treatment with a ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone. This is all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dep doop doop doop. Or you think so? Or agreed. Or aren't we jumping to conclusions?
Uh, 2.
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here. As we did,
Point.
full-heartedly. Well, no more.
Oh, we successfully completed a task we didn't know we had.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost.
So who would do this? Or why would anyone do this? Or I think I need to wash myself? Or maybe the bullet holds more answers.
3.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Who would do this? Or why would anyone do this? Or maybe the bullet holds more answers.
4.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Who would do this? Why would anyone do this? Or what happens next?
1.
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Why would anyone do this? Or what happens next?
To hide something. The real killer?
Bless you.
The real motivation? What really happened here?
Alright, what happens next?
Indeed.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Bless you again. You'll be gone. What should I do in the meantime?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Looks you in the eye.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away, ice cream makers are buzzing, and the sea wind blows outside. Detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
So you want to try to remove the dead man's boots again?
Okay.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
So it shakes his
Let's
head.
not turn this into some kind of circus.
Close the door.
All right. He's still here.
Indeed. Ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we? Look around the secret room, or look there's a hole in the wall, or leave.
That too.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do. Or no, you do the honors.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim, or inspect the rifles.
1.
Are these any good?
Most
the
of them
rifles.
are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
So looks
That's a rare
nice.
sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Old Billigram McGraw from the Revolution. Lieutenant notes with approval. His eyes are gleaming. So where are we? Or what does it mean, a rifle being here? Or leave?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
So where are we? Or leave?
But where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles.
Points up with the rifles in the
Must be
ceiling.
an old weapons cache.
Alright. Leave.
We can leave.
Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running.
Interesting.
Got money and some more medicine.
Nice.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
You want to unplug either of them or leave? Probably don't want to unplug the big red one.
Oh, we don't. Happens if we unplug the ice cream maker.
I don't know.
Let's try it.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like the red one. Or because it's black, the color of immeasurable cosmos. Or I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reasons.
3.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
Alright, ready to leave?
Okay.
So we have the antique rifle. Interacting, we have the fractured bullet and the handwritten note from the fridge.
Yes, the note. We need to look at the note.
All right, let's look at
The
it.
note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note or put it away.
We'll read it.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Okay.
You find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Okay, I wonder who wrote this note, or remind me again what's a filament memory, or who's the illiterate ginger kid, or do you have any ideas where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I mean, I think we know where it is.
I think we did, yeah, I think we found it.
2.
Wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry, or maybe it's because of the entity, or guess we'll never know. 2?
That's implausible.
Okay, remind me again what's the filament memory, or who's the illiterate ginger kid, or do we have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
4.
Really? You don't
Lieutenant
have
looks
a
at you.
single guess?
The lieutenant looks at you, the corner of his mouth curved in a smug grin. Who could it be?
IS-1.
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Alright, remind me again what's the filament memory, or do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be, or put the note away?
You put it away. We know where the ice cream maker is.
Indeed. Okay, do we want to look at the bullet?
Sure.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What do I do with you, bullet? Or feel the bullet through the bag, or the bullet has nothing more to say. Put it away.
1.
What?
Lieutenant steps closer. I said, what do I do with you, bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea, or I don't know.
Yeah, 1.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Feel the bullet through the bag, inspect the bullet closer, or the bullet has nothing more to say.
We can feel it.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
Inspect the bullet closer, or the bullet has nothing more to say.
3.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the jacket, or look at the core.
1.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet close to 5 millimeters in diameter. Or wow, I actually know this.
1.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle. Not from a muzzleloader, like those typically found on the streets of Martinez. Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating.
Exactly.
We need to find a gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
All right, trying to determine what kind of weapon shot this. We have a 72% chance of success.
Right.
Let's go.
A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Make?
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago.
So an ancient rifle fired this.
Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone even still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
So who uses the Belmargrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
Lieutenant jots down something in his notebook. I think I know where this came from. Dangle the bag thoughtfully, where the bullet has nothing more to say.
Or?
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Belmargrave rifle. Or I mean, I have some idea, but I can't be sure. One, alright.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachon, really.
Why not? Or that's probably a good thing. One or two?
At 2.
Okay.
I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Worth what? Getting shot? Well, I think we should have more powerful guns. We are the law. Or makes you consider every shot. I like it.
Great.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Seems we're looking for an antiques enthusiast. Or could be the victim is mixed up with some foreign guerrilla fighters. Or have well-armed jamrock bangers started crossing over to Martinez. Or yeah, something mysterious is afoot with an antique bullet type. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1? Okay.
Doesn't seem that likely. But we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Alright, bullet, nothing more to say. So, number 5? Okay. It's cutting off the beginning of everything you say.
I know. I don't know why.
Okay, wash off the death smell and find the murder weapon. Locate a working firearm that shoots this ammo. Alright.
This
We need to head out.
is dead still.
Okay.
It has a hand
So can we save here?
churner
Yes.
and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
So we'll leave, and I will save.
Right.
And that'll be it for now. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out, Noel.
Yep. Here.
And it was good times. So we'll pick this up next